Naths up against the glue of Edward. He gets a lot of regen from the mini glues once that up, so there's a tanky presence on the side of RSG to hold the front line. The Lolita will provide the shielding. Exort needs to have godlike positioning here, and if he can, maximize the stun to force an early Needles and Flowers out of the 1-1, which should be one of the main goals of RSG Slate. If you can trigger that key ability out of the 1-1 in the situation where he doesn't want to use it, that'll be great for them. And the ever-consistent Queen, after winning the previous game, Oh My Venus, is now third in terms of overall wins in MPL PH career.
They're back to the usual XP lane rotation, as you can see. They did the same thing, man. They're pressuring Nats, but it looks like Nats is better off this time. I think he's okay. He survived the minute gut check.
And this rotation by BLACKLIST just ensures that Oh My Venus always most likely will be level 4 by the time the first turtle comes up, and Yue as well will have level 4. So we've been seeing it since the Brent Esports matchup yesterday that the roamer that BLACKLIST international is up against is always a level or at least quarter of a level behind of level 4.
Yeah, and I think this is just a better start, right, in terms of there wasn't so much pressure on the XP lane that they had to deal with, but they got to be careful, especially in moments like this.
Oh.
So Irad going to be fine, but once again, all this kind of poking back and forth, fighting for any lead that they can really find leading into that first turtle.
Okay, besides passing the first minute gut check in the XP lane, I think RSG are doing much better given the fact that this lineup scales much, much better early to mid. Like earlier, they were so top heavy. To be honest, they were very top heavy. Now, they have, again, Eman on the carry. They have Irad, who has a mystery shop, so should scale well as long as he's farming at least a moderate amount. Already looking better for the Raiders.
Unevolved Flower actually on the hands of Edward, given to him by the Florin.
Oh,
Who can get this first turtle. Positioning of Yue, very good right now for a Numenon Blast. RSG needs to get vision, they get it.
Yep, Light has it. Yue also has the Numenon Blast here, so there goes the penalty zone. They're going to set up. Wise goes in from around the corner. First blood going to the hands of Wise. Yue will fall, though. Wow. And Turtle will reset on top of it. Now still going to be going Edward, holding on to Light. Light will survive for now.
Dash.
And now still the focus on Edward this time. Can't get away. Irad with the kill.
But this whole time, look at Dannery. He's committing Grand Theft Orange. I wonder if Irad is aware.
Buff down. Turtle, let's see if RSG can get it to balance out the fact that the orange buff of the Joy is gone. And RSG will get the first turtle of the game, plus 2 kills.
Okay, so they secure the turtle finally after all of that. Like Leo mentioned, Wise, though, able to take the buff from Irad. So he did have the 2 kills. I don't think he's too worried so much about the buff for now, but we'll see if he can actually play with this advantage that they have.
I see what Irad is doing. I believe this should be a...
That's the advantage I was talking about. He's going to go ahead and take down Oh My Venus. Now on the run here, Wise trying to find some revenge. The lineup from Yue goes in with a Numenon Blast. Not going to find it, though. Erad's still on the run. A dash and a dash. And he will survive.
He used the most of the rhythm and beats immune CC window. That was amazing.
Owl under the feathered airstrike. Going to look for Emon. Gets the crossbow of Tang off. And in a situation where he was outnumbered, comes out on top. Now Nas going in with the penalty zone, 1 versus 2. Wise and Edward waiting for Irad to get there, but will be a little bit too late. Edward goes in with a split, will be cut off a little bit. Irad gets the flicker out. Still going to be committing here, uses the beats, gets the kill with the retribution as well.
Seems like this series might boil down to who gets the Joy will get a good time. Because Irad right now, 4 kills on this Joy.
Oh, 4.
Oh, 4 of it.
Only for John.
John John's his name?
John Tuazon.
Okay, I thought it was, for a second there, I really thought John.
I've gotten fond of the young jungler, but wait, Wise, they're trading this top lane tier 1 for the buff, and eventually they'll trade hard. No, but this still has shields.
Yeah, they're putting some pressure across map here. Feathered airstrike going to be used by Yue. Exort in response as well. The full plate of those golds are gone now on the bottom side, but they trade top.
That's a lot of money in Owl's pockets, man. He's eating good.
Yeah, this 1-1 will be a problem later on. But we've seen before how BLACKLIST International deals with 1-1s. Light just needs to really time his shield really well. And they need to layer their crowd control abilities well enough. And once the 1-1 ultimate has been expended, that is your time to turn. Conserve your abilities. Irad might get caught out here.
Irad, 3 members, going to be forced to use the ultimate out of there. Still looking for that turtle. Going to be pulled and started. Half Belgian Flicker comes in with the Doom on Blast. They do find Waz. Penalty zone to follow, but the damage not there just yet. Turtle secured, but Light will fall to an objective that they take. Meanwhile, still in the mid lane, UA in trouble. Irad gonna go in. He jumps in, dashes through, gets the kill. He's unstoppable. Now gonna be working on Owl. Owl will be fine, but Irad has lost his purple buff as well.
What's the count now? 3 buffs stolen by Wise so far?
Yep, 3 buffs, but all 5 kills on the hands of RSG come from the hands of Irad. And even Wise wins the battle.
Ow.
In the mid! Exort!
Dunked on with the feathered airstrike.
And just like that, as we say, the action just keeps going, man. I think this is exactly what RSG wants to be. It's a messy team fight everywhere.
This aggression that RSG is playing with, despite being dominated in that game number 1, this is what you want to see from RSG if you are a Raider. And if you are a fan of our sport, you'd want to see a team that just gets dominated fight back like this. This makes the story, the series, all the more interesting as we look at the items. Corrosion Scythe and Demon Hunter Sword already built by Owl. Second item should be coming up in just a bit for Eman. So the struggle of Eman in lane somewhat balanced now by the efforts of the other members of RSG. Exort's timing with the stuns alongside Irad's entries. Of course, Light's Numenon blasts. They just need to time and layer their abilities perfectly.
Best case scenario, what RSG Slate wants for BLACKLIST to do is to answer back. They want BLACKLIST to get scrappy as well, because in that realm, in that situation, RSG just win about 9 out of 10 times. But it's so far, in the 7-minute game, 7 minutes, 3 seconds, BLACKLIST have been picking their fights.
Yeah, like they're trying to do here too, right? The crazy thing about this, with Irad having pretty much the majority of the kills in gold in his favor right now, if he does get shut down, that's going to be a big pickup for BLACKLIST International. So you see them kind of avoiding that, right? They just go ahead, get a little bit more space to work with as they took the tier 1 in the bottom side, but they trade it for the turtle plus the tier 2 in the top lane.
He will make like a piñata. Once the code breakers get to that joy, I'm guessing if they put it to Owl or they give it to Yue, that's a lot of good.
Well, a lot of candy, a lot of sweets, but life looks sweeter for RSG right now. BLACKLIST International are getting wins by opening up space in the map for themselves, making the right call. They're avoiding the scrappiness, the fights that RSG wants to take against BLACKLIST International by splitting the map instead. And they're just waiting for the right time, and once they feel confident that Owl has his items, but look at Irad.
Yeah, he's going to poke down Owl a little bit here. You got to respect that damage too. He does have, I believe, that Holy Crystal is the last item he picked up a couple minutes ago. So, you know, this is just RSG kind of playing with that advantage they have. They also have the space advantage, like you mentioned. But all this will lead into that first Lord. So if BLACKLIST International takes up a kill, possibly a shutdown if they can get it, it gives them some of that momentum back. But right now, it's just RSG having a much better game too here.
That's right. RSG is going with the zoomies, let's just say.
Yeah.
They want to go ka-chow. But for BLACKLIST International, it's a game of inches. Oh my goodness.
Feathered airstrike gonna come down. He also used the retribution. They get the heal out. Irad gonna get stunned though. A little overextended, and the kill goes to Yue. And you see that too. Big defensive items being picked up here for Owl and Edward.
The animation of the penalty zone was stopped by the stun of the floor. It actually was got off. Nas couldn't jump. The animation didn't jump forward. It stuck to where Nas was standing. That would have been a sure kill onto Oh My Venus. But just unfortunate for RSG. Good response by BLACKLIST.
Owl just going in. Exort gonna fly out a little bit with the wings by wings. Penalty zone.
That's smart.
Not gonna.
Cheeky.
Yeah. Not gonna work for him that time.
All right.
Made like a bird and flew out of the map.
Yep.
Given how Irad played the first 8 minutes, he always had the rhythm and beats in check so he can get away. This time around, he didn't.
One of the things to consider as well.
That's what caught him off.
I think Blacklist have just found a timer for them. Look at him, so brave, just trying, but he's going to get trapped.
Oh, he's going to get stunned here. Too much CC. Irad will fall, biting a little bit too much off. And now that's the signal. Blacklist International flip the game in their favor. Will start up the Lord here. The heals come out as well. RSG might have to just give this one up. Still going to be fighting for it. Al goes in, zoning them out a little bit. Yue takes quite a few hits. Lord will be secured by Wise. Irad going to have to check himself here. Now they're on the defense.
That opened up just because Irad was caught out by Blacklist International. It looked like the right play to send them back, but with Wise already in shield unity form, he did not hesitate to go to the mid, stun Irad, and Blacklist just finished off the jungler of RSG. Now RSG's early game lead that they found, they'll now have to play from behind and from the defense.
Man, Irad has to step on the clutch a little bit. He went a little too fast in the first 10 minutes. And then right now, I hate to say it, but slowly he's showing signs of burnout. He needs to slow down and then wait until the rest of RSG slate are ready to respond. He can't go in too deep alone.
Yeah, just because you're playing, someone like this Joy, who is very kind of finicky and evasive, you can still get layered upon layered of CC, and that kind of just takes you out of the picture, right? So you need time for Emon to really farm up here. You had an amazing early game, into the mid game even, but you got to let the rest of the team catch up here. So they handle the Lord as they should, but right now it's completely flipped in favor for Blacklist International. Now they're the ones with almost a 3K lead.
Here it is again. Oh, careful now.
You're going to be giving your teammates a bit of a heart rate spike.
Okay, all right.
With how he's positioning himself.
He gave us one.
Yeah. Now RSG, I mean, it is still close enough for them to swing back, but again, it'll boil down to them just really taking their time, picking the right moment, picking the right fights.
Yep. Big team fights. RSG has that as well. It's not just how the little skirmishes off of Irad can start. They have Light with the Numenon Blast. He's made a career out of catching 3, 4, even 5 members with his Numenon Blast. So let's see. It's about the 12-minute mark. Big Lord's Dance should trigger that.
Yeah, skill conservation. Because even though it looks good to just put down everything onto every member of Blacklist, if they're in the right position, they still have to leave enough room to make room for Emon. Oh, here comes Blacklist for the chase.
Yeah, looking for the cutoff here. Wise going to find Light. They get the flicker out. Now they're on the run here, but unto they go. Exort still trying to fire off. Won't find it. Light falls. The next one's going to be Nats. 2 fall for the Raiders. Irad trying to buy some time. Blacklist International in a split second decide to come in with their own counterpunch from the pressure on the tier 2.
Unfortunate. The angle that RSG were looking for was maybe a second or two late to be able to be anchored onto.
Yeah, and Exort just decided to try and use the feathered airstrike to take down Oh My Venus in the back. Yeah, just for salvaging. But Oh My Venus already has the right items to survive through the onslaught of that. Now RG again pick the right moments and really watch their positioning, because Blacklist could just be looming as 4 anywhere in the corner, anywhere nearby, and they did exactly that with a quick response to help out Edward in the bottom lane.
Lord Dance began. Oh, here's the engage.
They're already going to give the green light here. Feathered airstrike going to come down. Emon trying to unleash in the backside. Irad goes, forcing Yue back, but Light will fall. Irad on the run. Edward goes down as well. The 1-for-1, the roll for the XP. Lord still going to be juggled between both teams here, but Irad quite low. Going to be very risky for him to fight this one.
There's also still an ultimate on the 1-1 for Blacklist International. No more feathered airstrike here for RSG. Not good news for the Raiders. Could be another Lord here without a problem for Blacklist, and they found Irad again!
Oh, Irad going to get chased down. Bobsy weaves, but he's not going to be able to get away. Buys a little bit of time, but will fall. Now a Blacklist International still in a position. Emon trying to buy some time, make the most out of it. He gets Oh My Venus, but will fall himself. Now it's Nats and Exort on the defense. They got to give up this Lord. Blacklist International once again, time and time again, comes out on top.
Outplayed and outgunned for RSG in that scenario. Al so far having the series of his life. From an amazing performance earlier to now on the 1-1. Timing of the crossbow of Tang, the reason why the Winter Truncheon was popped immediately by Irad was because he had the crossbow of Tang mark on him, and he thought at that moment that's when Al will let it go, but Al conserved it. His sidesteps to avoid the key abilities of RSG have been crucial to the success of Blacklist.
Wise been doing that pretty much this entire game number 2. Just taking buffs, taking resources. Now they're taking turrets, getting space. And RSG has to deal with the Lord top side.
Taking buffs, getting stunts off at the right time. He's like a roamer with how he plays his Baksha. Wise is a definite unsung hero of this game. A tremendous performance by the king of the jungle.
Turret top gonna go down here, still gonna hold on. They're gonna clear it out just now. But base slightly exposed here for RSG. And they find themselves in a similar fashion from before where they've got to defend. They got something. Something has to happen here. Something has to break for RSG in this match.
So far, Blast International have denied the angles that Light are so good at finding, right? So I'm guessing if it's going to have to come down to it, if the clapback, if the shrinking of this gold lead is going to happen for RSG Slate, it's got to happen inside the base. Like, you just have to find that 2-man, 3-man. I'm being very conservative here. Numen and Blast. Because Blacklist is not having any of it.
Not at all. Even when they do get set up, the Blacklist just has the sustainability survive through whatever RSG can dish out. The timing of Exort and Light's ultimates together will be crucial. But the space, and look at the sandwich. RSG has to be careful here.
That's just a little drive-by from Wise.
Oh, but
saying
Light,
hello.
way too deep.
Light gonna have to go on the defense here. This team's gonna have to respond. He already flickers out. There's the fettered airstrike. Goes in, Yue lands. The Numen Blast and Exort will be punished. And now it's Nas taking the brunt of the damage. Irad trying to run away. Edwards, Immortality, and Wise will pop. Emon survives the fight.
But Al.
So only Exort will fall there. Quite messy. Everybody's splitting in different directions. But RSG, they only lose one.
Yeah, and Blacklist read Light's tendency to be in a very off angle so well. Actually didn't even realize Light was there, but that's classic RSG, classic Light, to put himself in places that you don't expect for him to be, and then you just get set up, and he might get set up here and get turned down.
That looks like at least he's able to survive, but Irad gonna go in 1 versus 3. That's tough. He will fall. Now Owl getting the crossbow of Tang. He's got airtime. Nas with the penalty zone will go down as well from Yue. 3 fall for RSG Slate.
Here's the reason why RSG were forcing the issue. They only had the immortality window to work with. If they let Blacklist build up back and let them do exactly this, then it's too late. And I think, oh no, Blacklist knows.
I think this is going to be too late here. They go in, looking to cap off game number 2. The crystals being worked on. Owl will lock in, and they take game 2.
A roar from Al and the entirety of Blacklist. The management, the entire team celebrate. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. But as the crowd says, one more win, and Blacklist will see the world and seal their grand final slot this season.